Bethany Hamilton was born on February 8, 1990, in Liu, Hawaii, where the ocean was not just a backdrop but part of her family's soul. Her parents, both passionate surfers, introduced her to the waves before she could even walk. By the time she was a toddler, Bethany was already standing on a surfboard, balancing on tiny waves with the ease of someone destined to live a life in water. Surfing wasn't just a hobby for her, it was her language, her playground, her future. Her childhood revolved around the beach. Days began with sunrise sessions in the Pacific, her blonde hair bleached further by the saltwater, her tanned skin proof of countless hours under the Hawaiian sun. She was competitive by nature, pushing herself against boys and girls much older. Her dream was crystal clear: to become a professional surfer. By the time she was 8 years old, Bethany was entering competitions. She had the determination of an athlete far beyond her years. At 9, she already had sponsorships, her name whispered as the next big thing in surfing. But what made her stand out wasn't just her skill, it was her spirit. She surfed with joy, fearlessness, and a connection to the ocean that was almost spiritual. Her family supported her completely, homeschooling her so she could dedicate more time to training. Every wave was practice for the life she envisioned, traveling the world, competing in championships, and living her passion. But life, unpredictable and often merciless, had a test waiting for her, one that would shake everything and redefine who she was. October 31, 2003, Halloween morning. Bethany, just 13 years old, paddled out with her best friend Alana Blanchard, Alana's father and brother. The waves off Kauai's north shore were calm, perfect for a relaxed surf. Bethany, always fearless, lay on her board, her left arm dangling in the water. The ocean was her comfort zone, but that morning it became the stage for a nightmare. Out of nowhere, a 14-foot tiger shark struck. In one violent instant, it tore through Bethany's left arm, severing it just below the shoulder. The ocean turned red. For a second, time stopped. Bethany's face remained calm, shock mixed with faith. She whispered a silent prayer, holding on to courage as blood poured out. Her friends rushed to help. Alana's father used a surf leash as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding, and they paddled furiously back to shore. Bethany, pale but conscious, kept her spirit intact. "I think I'm going to be okay," she said. That line would later become a symbol of her indomitable will. She was rushed to the hospital, having lost over 60% of her blood. Doctors weren't sure she'd survive. But Bethany's body was strong, her heart resilient, and her faith unwavering. Against all odds, she pulled through. The young girl who nearly died in the water was alive, but forever changed. The days after the attack were filled with pain, not just physical but emotional. Bethany had built her identity on surfing. How could she continue with only one arm? Basic tasks were overwhelming. She struggled to tie her hair, dress herself, or cut food. Each small action was a mountain to climb. But Bethany refused to be defeated. Her faith in God gave her strength. She believed her life still had a purpose. Instead of asking, "Why me?" she asked, "How can I move forward?" Within weeks, she was experimenting with ways to adapt, holding a fork differently, using her feet more, learning new methods for everything. The ocean still called to her. Just 1 month after the attack, she was determined to get back on a surfboard. Her father adapted her board with a handle so she could paddle. The first time she stood again, balancing with one arm, was both terrifying and exhilarating. The waves didn't pity her, they treated her the same as before. That's when she realized she wasn't broken. She was different, but still whole. The media swarmed to her story, calling her the soul surfer. But behind the spotlight, Bethany quietly pushed herself harder than ever, training to ride waves most thought were impossible for someone with one arm. By January 2004, just 2 months after the attack, Bethany entered her first competition again. The world watched in disbelief as the girl who survived a shark attack paddled out with one arm. Many expected her to fall, to give up, but Bethany didn't just surf, she excelled. Her passion had only grown stronger. At first, she had to relearn everything: how to balance, how to paddle into waves faster, how to compensate for her missing arm. Every session was grueling. But every fall only made her more determined. Coaches, friends, and her family became her support system, reminding her that talent wasn't in her arm, it was in her heart. In 2005, Bethany won her first national surfing title. It wasn't just a trophy, it was proof that she wasn't defined by her loss. She stood on the podium with a smile, her story now larger than surfing itself. She became a symbol of courage for anyone facing hardship. Her journey inspired countless people beyond sports: cancer patients, amputees, children facing bullying. She became proof that no matter what happens, dreams don't die unless you let them. Bethany's comeback story spread across the globe. She appeared on talk shows, featured in magazines, and inspired documentaries. Yet, she remained humble, always pointing back to her faith and family as her anchors. She released her autobiography, Soul Surfer, a true story of faith, family, and fighting to get back on the board, which became a bestseller and later inspired the Hollywood film Soul Surfer, 2011. Through her story, she wanted people to know that life is bigger than setbacks. She traveled the world, speaking to schools, churches, and conferences, reminding people that strength is found not in perfection, but in resilience. She used her platform not only to inspire but to help. She started foundations for amputees and children in need, sharing her love for surfing with those who never thought they'd stand on a board. Bethany wasn't just chasing trophies anymore, she was lifting others with her courage. As Bethany grew older, her story evolved beyond the surfboard. She continued to compete and inspire, but she also began to dream about building a family of her own. In 2014, at age 24, she married Adam Dirks, a youth minister from Hawaii. Their relationship was rooted in faith, love, and shared purpose. Adam wasn't just her partner in life, he became her biggest supporter in chasing waves and raising awareness for others. Marriage added a new dimension to Bethany's resilience. 4 years, she had shown the world how to overcome obstacles as an athlete, but now she was learning the strength that comes from partnership. She and Adam embarked on adventures together, often freediving, hiking, and of course, surfing. Bethany never slowed down, and Adam admired her unstoppable drive. Their marriage symbolized something powerful. Bethany's story wasn't just about personal triumph, but about building a life filled with love and purpose despite adversity. The world admired her not just as the girl who survived a shark attack, but as a woman who embraced every chapter of life with courage. In 2015, Bethany became a mother for the first time, giving birth to her son, Tobias. Many wondered if motherhood would slow her down or keep her from chasing massive waves. But Bethany proved once again that limitations exist only in the mind. Surfing with one arm was already a challenge, adding the responsibilities of motherhood made it even harder. But Bethany approached it with the same determination she had shown after her shark attack. She trained harder, adjusted her schedule, and even brought her baby to the beach, blending her roles as mother and athlete seamlessly. Motherhood didn't weaken her, it strengthened her. She became a role model for women everywhere, showing that dreams don't have to be sacrificed when family grows. In interviews, she often shared how her son motivated her even more. "I want him to see that no matter what life throws at you, you can rise above it." Her family later grew with the arrival of 2 more sons, Wesley, and Micah. Bethany carried them on her hip with the same confidence she carried her surfboard, proving that being a mom and being a champion could go hand in hand. If Bethany's early comeback was inspiring, her later feats were jaw-dropping. Many thought her career would focus on smaller competitions or exhibitions, but Bethany aimed higher, much higher. She began taking on some of the world's biggest and most dangerous waves. In 2016, she entered a major competition against the world's top female surfers. Against all odds, Bethany defeated the 6-time world champion, shocking the surfing world. She didn't just hold her own, she proved she could dominate. With one arm, she was riding waves most surfers feared to face. Her crowning achievement came in 2017 when she competed in the Fiji Women's Pro, a World Surf League event. She surfed waves taller than houses, cutting through barrels with elegance and power. Against seasoned athletes, she placed in the top ranks, earning respect not as an inspirational figure alone, but as one of the best surfers on the planet. The image of Bethany carving through massive walls of water with one arm became iconic. She was no longer just the girl who survived a shark attack, she was a professional surfer standing shoulder to shoulder with the greatest in the sport. Beyond competitions, Bethany used her platform to spread hope. Her book Soul Surfer had already touched millions, and the 2011 film adaptation introduced her story to even more people around the globe. But Bethany didn't stop there, she continued to write, speak, and connect with audiences everywhere. She launched the Beautifully Flawed Foundation, which helps amputees and people facing adversity to find healing, strength, and joy. Through camps and mentorship programs, Bethany gave others the same encouragement that fueled her journey. Her faith remained at the center of her message. She reminded people that strength doesn't come from perfection but from persistence, belief, and love. She became a sought-after motivational speaker, appearing on stages across the world. Every time she spoke, she carried the same calm courage she showed on the day of her attack, reminding people that life's biggest waves can be ridden if you face them with heart. Bethany Hamilton's story is no longer just about survival, it's about redefining what's possible. From a little girl in Hawaii dreaming of becoming a surfer, to surviving a shark attack, to becoming a champion, wife, mother, and global inspiration, her life has shown the world what resilience truly means. Today, she continues to surf, raise her children, and inspire millions. She has written multiple books, starred in documentaries, and built a foundation of hope for people facing unimaginable challenges. Her story is studied in schools, celebrated in sports, and cherished by anyone who has ever faced adversity. Bethany often says, "I don't need easy. I just need possible." That phrase sums up her journey. She never asked for life to be simple. She only asked for the strength to keep moving forward. Her legacy isn't just about being a surfer with one arm. It's about being proof that with faith, courage, and determination, no wave is too big to ride.